He who pursues fame at the risk of losing his self is not a scholar. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. This place has only 3 exits, sir: madness and death. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. There are not more than 5 primary colors, yet in combination they produce more hues than can ever be seen. In fact, the truth cannot be communicated until it is perceived. Life would be unbearably dull if we had answers to all our questions. If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without a single loss. Vulnerability is the least celebrated emotion in our society. I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong. We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Before you find your soulmate, you must first discover your soul. Nothing happens until something moves. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. If I had to live my life over, I'd live over a saloon. The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms. Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of the unlived life. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. One who is too insistent on his own views finds few to agree with him. Life isn't worth living unless it is lived for someone else. Old ways won't open new doors. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. Accepting oneself does not preclude an attempt to become better. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone. Politeness is the first thing people lose once they get the power. Never say anything about yourself you don't want to come true. You're only young once, but you can be immature forever. There is nothing more important than your eternal salvation. He was a lonely ghost, uttering a truth that nobody would ever hear. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. You can't understand where someone's going unless you understand where they've been. The men of old breathed clear down to their heels. I never trust frank and simple people whose stories hold together. The money you make is a symbol of the value you create. Only courageous hearts can endure the bitterness of truth. He who doesn't understand history is doomed to repeat it. You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. Amid the turmoil and tumult of battle, there may be seeming disorder, and yet no real disorder at all. The way is to man as rivers and lakes are to fish, the natural condition of life. The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. Freedom is the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Colors blind the eye, sounds deafen the ear, flavors numb the taste, thoughts weaken the mind, desires wither the heart. Instinct is a makeshift, an admission of helplessness before the problem of reality. When pure sincerity forms within, it is outwardly realized in other people's hearts. The truth is not always beautiful, nor beautiful words the truth. In the end, you should always do the right thing, even if it's hard. Maybe other people will try to limit me, but I don't limit myself. There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough. Go to heaven for the climate and hell for the company. Prioritize your physical and mental health. They are your most valuable assets. A real scientist solves problems, not wails that they are unsolvable. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. A life fueled by passions is like riding on the back of a dragon. It's often only in the lies we refuse to speak that any truth can be heard at all. There's nothing in the world that breeds success like success. Watching my back is the perfect opportunity to stick a knife in it. Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action. Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field. If you can feel the future, then you are about to experience it. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. Men don't need linguistic talent. They just need courage and words. Have faith. Have faith. When you have nothing else, have faith. Don't tie your success to anything other than what's inside you. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Men do less than they ought, unless they do all they can. All things one has forgotten, scream for help in dreams. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm as radiant as the sun. During a conversation, listening is as powerful as loving. Man doesn't know what he is capable of until he is asked. Man is an animal who has to live in a lie in order to live at all. The best knowledge is knowing yourself and your inner being. Leaders are limited by their vision rather than by their abilities. It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile. He who requires much from himself and little from others will keep himself from being the object of resentment. Sometimes the best of God's gifts arrive by the shattering of all the window panes. Be grateful for what you already have while you pursue what you want. Success is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden. I do maintain that if your hair is wrong, your entire life is wrong. Chaos is more freedom, in fact, total freedom, but no meaning. Keep creating. The world yearns to celebrate your next masterpiece. It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Don't set your goals by what other people deem important. The world changes. We do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us. You grow mentally weak when your life is too comfortable. It was easier to ask for forgiveness than it was to get permission. A lack of clarity could put the brakes on any journey to success. Silence is nice to have if you wanted it, but maddening if you didn't. Never curse a fall. The ground is where humility lives. I care for no man on earth, and no man on earth cares for me. It is hard work and great art to make life not so serious. When we are most alone, is when we embrace another's loneliness. There is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent. I live in my own little world, but it's okay, they know me here. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Be mindful, be grateful, be positive, be true, be kind. A person's limitations are only measured by their drive to succeed. Try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value.